All right, welcome everybody to another edition of Late Night on Chain. I am back from a little vacation. It is good to be back because the trenches never sleep. 1 second before I just got to do a little tidying up in here. 1 second while we get some stuff going on. All right, we are back. We are back. Anyways, it's good to be back. Took a week off. It was nice to get away. But man, this market's just insane. I'm telling you right now, it's funny because on chain is where a lot of the action is. And like if you're just looking at the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's really dead. But if you look at like Robinhood specifically, some of these and even some things on Solana, there's this Kate coin that literally went from nothing to 80 million market cap. It's just crazy. Everything's happening on chain. And yeah, it's just a fascinating space. There's millions of things going on a minute. It's really hard to keep up. That's for sure. Really difficult to keep up. But we hopefully do our thing, and we have interesting guests on today. We're joined by a couple of great guests. We got Perpspad, we got Bitget Wallet, we got Myrad. Looking forward to having all of them on. We'll have Shen on from Bitget shortly in about 1 or 2 minutes. Just want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors because this is how we can operate. We don't charge guests, but we do need to work with sponsors. And we're grateful to this month be presented by Easy A Kickstart. Now, Easy A Kickstart is an incubator on Solana that allows some of the smartest tech minds in the space, especially in AI, to come and deploy and raise capital on chain. Now, Solana has a reputation as being a gambling chain with memes and nothing else, but that has quickly been changing, especially with projects like Easy A Kickstart, over $250 billion raised across every avenue. So we're looking forward to showcasing many more of their projects. Shout out to Easy A. A couple of our supporting sponsors want to give a shout out to. We got BiggerBot. Most people know BiggerBot. They provide the infrastructure for AI agents and also now on Robinhood as well. They provide the tooling for AI agents to operate autonomously, and they made a transition to Robinhood, the pairing stock LPs, doing a lot of interesting things down there. Check them out. Two more sponsors: Buildify, Win, new launchpad on Robinhood, but also across every chain EVMs. They don't have a token, so they're just focusing on building the best product possible for those to launch. And Albemarle City, the first tokenized city on the Solana blockchain. All right, need 2,000 people per show. We got to get there. Otherwise, I'm a failure. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So, but maybe let's just dive right in. We got Shen from Bitget. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, Bill. Good to see you. Thank you
Good
for
to
having
see
me.
you. Good to see you as well. Do you keep so obviously with Bitget Wallet? Are you guys like really entrenched in the like on chain happenings every single day? Like, do you know all these things that are going on, all these runners?
Obviously, right? So we are one of the OG multi-chain wallets since 2018. So we work with all of these major ecosystems and partners, and we definitely got a heads up for a lot of things, but we cannot share them when they're in the cooking.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's part of the game. You got to know what's going on. So we're gonna dive into Bitget Wallet. We're gonna dive into kind of the focus, but I do want to know since you are established very long in this space and reputation precedes yourself. I want to know your thoughts also on like Robinhood because obviously this is a multi-chain show, but in my experience, Robinhood has been something that's literally captured the attention of people everywhere. What are your thoughts on Robinhood overall?
Obviously, Robinhood is very hot. We are also the first wallet to support Robinhood mainnet launch. So we're working very closely with them. I think that definitely this is much needed. I would say a trend for the whole overall crypto space, given that the market current market condition. I think that they are doing the right thing by allowing the ecosystem to grow organically, right? And because oftentimes when you try to put restrictions and try to force certain narratives sometimes may not work out the way you want it. So I think yeah, definitely. I think if they continue down this path, we think that the Robinhood is, like a lot of people compare Robinhood chain to Base. I think certainly, I think there is opportunity for them to really go neck to neck. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I see a lot of similarities to early days base. I've been around for a while too, and I remember 2024. There was one cycle in the spring, everything just started running, and it's kind of that similar concept about bringing retail on board through traditional means. For base is Coinbase. Here it's Robinhood app.
Mhm.
Um, so I do see a lot of similarities. Okay, so now let's talk. I want to talk about the wallet. So obviously, Bitget wallet. You guys made a focus on the wallet infrastructure. Talk to me about that. Why? Why did you guys go down that path? Because it is competitive. There's other wallet providers out there. So what was the reason why Bitget Wallet was like, you know what, this needs to be a focus of ours?
Um, so, so you mean the focus on
Wallet
trading,
infrastructure. No,
all
just
infrastructure?
yeah.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, right? So we started building the infrastructure on day one, so that is our position, right? So wallet is always a infrastructure by play. However, I mean, of course, there are other wallets that are expanded beyond that, right? They're getting more involved in applications. But for us, I think first and foremost, we are a infrastructure for self custody, infrastructure for on chain trading, and more importantly, we are building an infrastructure for PayFi and payment overall. And to answer your question, why we do that? Well, because we think that first of all, I think opportunity wise, no matter how this industry would evolve, right? There always a need for a self custody infrastructure, right? That's number one. Number two is that I think wallet is playing a very important role for the growth of the whole industry because we are the front end, right? We are the portal for user to have access to different tradings, different applications. So if we want to help the industry to grow and expand, I think wallet is definitely one of the key I think key player in this space. And of course it's hard to do it as well, right? So we've seen a lot of wallets coming and going. And one thing I want to highlight on is that today I think we are I think wallet is many things, right? Like they started off as infrastructure. Now they are a lot of wallets are also the trading platform for us. Obviously we one of the most comprehensive on chain trading platform, including our in-house built DEX aggregator, prediction market, working with Polymarket, Perpdex, and also we are the leading platform for RWA trading as well. And then on the other hand, we are building, as I mentioned, the global dollar account infrastructure, allowing users to deposit, to transfer, to pay with crypto and stablecoin across the world.
So highlight to me this. You made an interesting point. Obviously, there's more than just for wallets now these days. There's more than just the actual trading. There's a lot of things that go on. You highlighted RWAs, and you guys are the leading wallet trading for RWAs. Explain that. Why is RWA so popular? I guess on Bitget Wallet.
So number one is well, this is when we talk about crypto, right? So one of the mission is to democratize access to wealth and assets, right? So RWA obviously, right, is well, we use stocks as example. Of course, in developed markets like US and Europe, right, people would have access to it, but we're talking about the vast majority of the emerging markets where people don't really have access or good access to these assets, right, especially retail. So there is a strong demand for these kind of assets, right? So number one. And number two is that I think when we talk about onboarding new users, right, especially non-crypto native users, right, I think this touches on the convergence of the crypto and the real world, right? For example, now of course, right, we're not there yet, but the future will be allowing tokenized stock trading 24/7, right? And we're going to allow these RWAs to be composable, more composable, and compatible with DeFi products, right? Nowadays we're already seeing a lot of DeFi earn products out there, right? So these are ways to not only provide access to new asset class, but also new ways to earn. So that's why we're focused on it. And also, this is not just a strategy for Bitget wallet, but also I think the Bitget ecosystem overall.
What are some of the challenges, when dealing with a wallet? Because obviously there's competitors out there that want to eat your lunch. It's a very cutthroat market. There's
Mhm.
plenty of wallet providers that all want to capture the same on-chain traders' interest and attention. From your perspective, what has been the hardest thing that you guys have had to deal with trying to capture market share?
I think the most difficult thing is that so wallet is the portal, right? So we have access to all kinds of opportunities. But on the other hand, you cannot do everything. I think the biggest challenge for us and also for others, I believe, is to choose what not to do, right? So to focus on your user base, right? To focus on their demand, to focus on generating real value. Probably the hardest thing to do, right? For example, going back to RWA, right? So we talked about tokenized stocks, but also another thing is we also trying to explore like pre-IPO market or private equity tokenization market, right? Because I think people have a lot more interest there because it's a much closer market to retail users. And however, right, when it comes to picking the right product, picking the right part or right partner, right, you also need to always have your users in your mind about whether this is too complicated for them, right? Even though maybe the yield looks pretty good or maybe the company looks pretty good, but at the end of the day, if we think this product may be too risky or maybe the learning curve is too steep for our users, then maybe we shouldn't be doing it now. So I think those are the trade-offs we're making basically every day.
Yeah, I mean, those are all trade-offs that come. What about the social component? Is that something that's integrated in your guys' wallet infrastructure as well? Because, I think social is kind of what makes on-chain a little bit more accessible and exciting because people can kind of see. Is there a social element in the Bitget wallet?
I think definitely over the years, right, we've been working and supporting a lot of the like a social, uh, 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 social networking products, right? But I think inside Wallet we have not made social a key element of our product. I think simply because again, right, so we follow the demand and needs of our users, right? If today, people are not trying to find find a new platform for their social networking and activities, then we don't have to force it, right? But if in the future, when for example there's need or people think that hey, wallet maybe should be the platform for social, then we'll consider. But now I think we haven't seen that mature yet.
And right now, the market for Bitget, where would you guys say is the most demand for your product? Are you finding it to be international? Do you find it to be focused in one area versus the other? Talk to us about the demographics of users.
I think the overarching, I would say the opportunity we've seen is within payment, right? PayFi, because think about the crypto's original promise, right? Which is to disrupt the existing banking and the payment industry and infrastructure, right? To make it more efficient, uh, more affordable, right? Faster and everything, right? And of course, right, it's probably a little too early to do it in the I think maybe a couple years ago, but now I think we're at the tipping point, right? And at BK Wallet, that's why we're making PayFi a top priority of our business and also the future. and we're already seeing the growth of our payment activities surpassing trading um, in our platform. And so, of course, the opportunities are not equal everywhere. Where we see most opportunities are in the emerging markets, where there's a huge population, a huge unbanked population, and there's huge demand for stablecoin in terms of payment and also just holding U.S. dollar in general, right? So and also there is on the other hand there's a gap, right, in the infrastructure and the service provider, right? So that's why we think you know it's a great opportunity. I think not only for us, for others as well. But the challenge is that to build that infrastructure, allowing people to seamlessly to deposit, to transfer, to spend through QR or card are not as easy as a lot of people may think.
Yeah, it really isn't. From the outside looking in, it's tough. How do you let's see. When it comes down to, though, acquiring now new users, so what do you have to say? Because it's always interesting to see, there's certain people who are just aligned with the wallet provider of their choice. It's hard to get their interest. Again, we won't name competitors' names out there, but they get very much in their product. They don't want to leave. How do you target those users? How do you target the ones that already are entrenched in their current environment, but you want to bring them in? How does that work?
Um, so I think it all goes back to the use cases, right? For example, we've been successful, throughout the years by becoming the hot trend platform, right? Where you want to find to buy and trade the latest meme coins, right? The latest the chain, right? You want to you want to join, you come to Bitget Wallet, right? Because we always the first, right? So that's one. And then the other is again, right? So new use case, right? For example, in the past, I think if you only look at trading, yes, I mean there are many platforms out there. Some are more sophisticated than us, right? Because some platforms they are tailored towards professional traders, right? Versus us, more targeting I would say retail traders or beginners, right? It's easier to use, less complicated, right? Um, so that that's another way, right, for us to kind of differentiate ourselves and maybe to capture market shares, right? When people they realize that, oh, the wallets they've been using are maybe not as friendly. So that's one. But I think the biggest driver for what we've seen right now is still payment, right? Because we've seen two waves, right? One is a lot of the crypto holders, right? They are looking for ways to spend the cryptos they have, right? But like I said, right, it's not easy to do it, right? No, it's not easy to create this frictionless process and experience for people who, for example, they are living in Pakistan, right? Or they are living in I don't know, Indonesia. It's not easy, right? But they want to do it. So if there's a good solution out there, and they learn about it, and we believe, right, they will switch. And yeah, so and just another way to put it is that whenever you focus on the use cases that people really want instead of just a narrative, and you make it work, and people will always find you and become your users.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Want to give a quick shout out to the 1,545 people tuning in live late night on chain with Shen from Bitget. Well, again, guys, 2K viewers per show. We got plenty of time still, so we'll probably smash that. A couple people in the audience are saying Perpspad, Bitget listing soon. They want you to list these things. Shen, list Perpspad. The tech Perpspad's billing is insane. I'm sure you get approached all the time with people who want that exposure. I want to quickly highlight, we got a few more minutes. I want to quickly highlight, Shen, some news that you guys shared, and I think it's pretty interesting. On August 1st, We launched asset back for Bitget wallet card, TLDR instead of getting cash back. You could choose an asset to collect while spending. More on how it works here. Talk to me about this. What exactly is going on here?
Yeah, so I think just going back to the I think traditional card business, right? So a lot of these cards they're competing on rewards, right? And so, but however you look at the crypto card today, I think the rewards are quite quite basic, right? So
Yeah.
I think cashback, right, has been the main form of reward for a long time. But for users, of course, right? They always looking for more rewards, and one way for us to really elevate this game is we offer them more options, right? So what we are showing here is we're allowing users to choose what they want to get as a return of their reward or their spending, right? So instead of giving them okay 3% up to 3% just stablecoin, we give you 3% of a range of product, range of assets, right? You can choose from. You can get Nvidia token, right? For example, you can get BTC, you can get others. So the idea here is that number one, we give you more options. Number two, it's a great way for us to onboard crypto users, right? Because they, of course, right, stablecoin is good, but also if you want them to be more engaged in trading, right, the way to do it is to give them assets that are tradable, right? Or that would be just an introduction, right, to, for example, tokenized stocks. If they, if they're exposed to, for example, Nvidia token through this cash through the asset back program. And of course, we are also trying to expand the offering through partnerships with different projects. But we think that hey, this is the future, right? The asset back is a new cashback.
What's How does that work though? So asset back isn't cash back. So you're able to then choose tokenized stocks as one of the rewards. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's actually very cool. What are your thoughts personally as a because on-chain equities is something that has not been around honestly until I believe Robinhood started. And I know every chain is going to come on, and this is very, very unique. I think it's very unique. It's never been done before. What are your thoughts on on-chain equities personally? Do you feel that's a very bullish thing for this industry? Do you think this is going to be like a driver going forward for different chains? Overall, what are your thoughts?
Um, I think right now, if you look at the volume, uh, of course, it's still quite small, but the growth is quite significant. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I think this is the future, right? If you look at all the institutions, all the chains, a lot of the project they're doing this. There's a reason for that, because it goes back to the real world problem we're trying to solve here, right? Number one is 24/7, right? Trading. Number two is you just offer more more opportunities, more avenues to create new products, right? To make these stocks more composable in the DeFi world. And also, in the future, in the past, right, like all these different asset class, right, crypto and the stocks, they're quite segregated, right? So, but now if they are all in the crypto, then you can do, for example, cross collateralize, right? You can collateralize stock tokens for other crypto assets, right? Which is impossible in the past. So this, I think, will open door to a new wave of innovation in the future. And the third I like to say is, again, democratize the access, right? So especially when it comes to private equities, right? Today, most of them are only accessible by institutions and accredited investors.
Yeah, yeah, that opens up a lot of doors. And that's actually why the on-chain ecosystem is so interesting because gone are the accredited investors. This whole antiquated rule. Shen, a couple more minutes. What's next for Bitget Wallet? What is some of the focus going forward in the next, let's say, like I said, a year in crypto is more like 10 years in the real world. The next 6 months to 12 months, what is the absolute focus for you guys?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think the crypto, as I said before, right, things are moving very fast. Staying focused, oftentimes is very difficult, right? But at Bitget Wallet, I think we have a very clear plan, a very clear strategy. So, for the next 3 to 6 months, we are going to do two things really, really well. Well, number one is that we want to create a a a, a very reliable, very user friendly, very cost competitive uh, pay infrastructure. Right? We call it global dollar account. So basically, allowing users to easily deposit US dollar, and then spending, transferring, doing everything on chain from there, right? We are going to focus on that. We're going to work with partners in different countries, different region to come up with the best solution possible. So that's number one, right? And today, I want to say that, right? So we already, when it comes to spending, we already covered 150 million merchants around the world. We already our service available in 50 plus countries, and it's still growing. But that's not enough, right? So we need to grow faster. So that's one. Number two is that we want to be the best trading platform, right, for all assets. Continue to lead the trend of RWA. Continue to lead the trend of hot trends, right, being the place where discover, right, the latest hottest asset to trade. So I think these two are our main focus for the next 6 months and beyond.
I love it. For those up with Shen, we got 2,200 people tuning in. Like I said, I knew you'd pull through. I knew people were like, Shen from Bitget Wallets on. We are going to make sure we get at least 2,000. Shout out to you guys. Again, this episode is brought to you by Easy A Kickstart. Um, Amazing, Shen. I think, having someone, Bitget Wallet is, like I said, it's a competitive space. There's other infrastructures. But I think, coming on these type of shows, explaining, like right now, a lot of the people in the comments, they're here for another project. Now I guarantee you a lot of them are now checking you out because they want to. That's just the way the game works. Distribution, getting to know it, and putting yourself out there. So I thank you, for coming on. Last question to you, sir. Any last words you have for the 2,200 plus people tuning in and the thousands more that'll be listening to when this is put on to Spotify? Any last words for the Bitget Wallet community?
Well, I would recommend everyone, encourage everyone to try our PayFi product, right? If you don't have a crypto card today, try Bitget Wallet card, right? And you will get the asset back, and you will get a lot of benefits, and more importantly, to support our initiative, to make crypto available everywhere in the world.
My friend, thank you so much for coming on. And, I look forward to talking to you some more. Let's keep the door open. And I look forward to seeing Bitget Wallet grow in much more popularity, as I know it will be.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to speaking more in the future.
Absolutely. We'll have a couple clips also. My team will make it. We'll tag you, tag Bitget Wallet. And like I said, this will be put onto Spotify as well for further distribution and on YouTube. More people who know about it, the better it is. Thank you so much, Shen.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. That was Shen from Bitget Wallet. Yeah, I think that guy's a Chad. Ramo, I think so. I think so. I think he's a Chad. And I do think Goku, he should check out Perpspad. Perpspad will be on in about 15 minutes, just so you know. Hang out, sit back. We normally play a clip from our sponsor, Easy A, but they didn't give me a clip yet. But I guarantee you we'll have some clips. So we'll have one more guest on before we bring up the Perpspad team. Perpspad is going to be interesting. Like I said, I think, by the way, I don't know about you guys, but Jesus, some of these runners, maybe I need to get on Bitget as well and find these runners like, geez, Kate Coin? Bro, Kate Coin? 80 million? What? How is that possible? Like, what? Like, teach me. If any of you guys got in super early on that, please teach me your secrets. I have no idea how that's possible. But that's what the trenches is. That is what the trenches is. All right, guys, we're going to tune in. Give me a second. Let's just see if our second guest is coming on. Hey, man, it's on right now. Coming in. All right, let me send this to them. We got another good team. This was from one of the builders, the base batches. Let's see. I think base is going to have a pretty big time too. I think that people should pay attention. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so I think right now, let's just kind of look at the market while we wait for this second team on. They are Myrad. There's just so many good coins out here. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the opportunities on chains are a little bit too much going on. There's so many things going on that, like, I don't know how people keep track of it all. I really don't. I really don't know. You know, there's obviously things like Perpspad, super low cap. Then there's things like Wolf, which is SHIB deployer. Then there's like, Uniswap's coming with a coin. Then there's Sushi Pad. I think it's overwhelming. I don't know how you guys handle it. I really don't know. I really don't know. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll hopefully get our next guest on. But in the meantime, just hang out, sit back, relax, and we'll be on back very soon. By the way, I just checked. Kate Coin is over 100 million. I repeat, Kate Cat's over 100 million. What? How? When's Perpspad gonna do that? Jesus. How do people get these things? 100 million. Goodness gracious. That's a runner. We'll be back shortly. We are back. We will have Perpspad next, but we're going to bring up our next guest. Looking forward to that base batches finalist, and that is from Myrad, I believe it's called, or Myriad. I think it's Myrad, but we'll find out very soon. 1 second. We got to make sure to show them some love because that's important. All right, let's bring up a base finalist, base batches. That is no joke. Abra from Myrad. Abra, how you doing, friend?
Hello.
How's it going?
Fine. What about you? What about you?
Good, good, good. Well, first of all, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I could make it. I
Yes,
had a
yes, yes,
small
yes. We have
meeting.
3,100 people tuning in live. Late night on chain. With so is it Myrad or is it Myrad or how do you say your name?
Uh, Whatever you prefer. For me, I go with Myrad.
Myrad. Okay, let's go with
Yeah,
Myrad. So talk to us. First of all, you were one of the finalists on base batches 3. How was your
yeah.
experience with that?
Well, honestly, it was really hectic. We won the students track and we got selected as the base batches finalist. But the event on the demo day was supposed to happen on San Francisco. But the result came out really late and we could not get our visas on time. So we were really tense that what is going to happen and all. And then the base team connected with us and they told us that we don't have to really worry about it because our demo day video will be played there and we can join the network school as compensation that we could not attend the demo day on San Francisco. So yeah, we went to June cohort of network school and there we met with the base impact team and virtuous team and it was really great. So that's how our whole base batches 006 experience went.
Very cool, very cool. So why don't we talk about what you guys do, right? Because I actually don't know too much about it, but I know some people in the community were very excited about it. So talk to us about Myrad. What is it? What are you guys solving? And yeah, give us the TLDR.
Okay, so basically, in one liner, Myrad is a platform where it is a two-sided data marketplace. Okay, where users can come and contribute their daily app activities. Let's say Netflix, Uber, Strava. You have some user data right there, right? Like in Netflix, you have watch history. In Uber, you have your ride history, and in Strava, you have your fitness metrics and whatever you go, like you run or jogging for whatever you use the Strava for. So those user activities, they don't give you anything in return, right? They don't generate any value, but you have been storing it for a while, like for how longer you have been using the app. Now, in Myrad, you can come and contribute those user activities while being completely anonymous. And for those contribution, you get points, and we have a reward story, and you can exchange USDC with those points. Okay, so that's for the users part, and for the industrial part, with those contributed data, we can gather all those data and aggregatedly we share it to AI and robotics team, like who are building a personalized AI agent or robot. So they need those data, right, to know more about their user, what exactly their user love to watch, what exactly their user love to hear, what at which time he goes to run or jogging. So those user behavioral data, they can directly come and connect the Myrad MCP and get those data. That's exactly how the industrial part works. And not only that, imagine a person wants to open a cafe at a certain area. Like we have Zomato. It is a large food delivery app in India. So if a person wants to open a restaurant or cafe in a particular area, he has to go through market research to know what people like to eat in that particular area, what is the quantity they order, or what is the like average costing they are willing to spend on their foods. So with Myrad data, they can all those get all those data without any marketing within in seconds. Like their user orders, how much they order, how what is the what is the average costing for the orders they spend on. So this is Myrad in short.
What made
And
you decide that this is something you wanted to build? Why? Because again, you could this space you could choose all sorts of things to build. Focus is limited, but you chose this. What was the main catalyst that got you to be like, yes, I need to build Murad?
okay, so the main catalyst, to be honest, there's a past history before base batches 003. Actually, the co-founders of Myrad, we all were four college mates, and we went to ETH Delhi. Sorry, ETH Global. So it's a global hackathon organized by Ethereum, and there we were supposed to build something on data, token, and some stuff. Okay, so we thought let's build a platform where people can come and tokenize their AI datasets, like those datasets you need to train an AI model. And that's how we actually planned Myrad. But after building the project, we won the ETH Global tournament. But we later thought that maybe AI dataset is tokenization is not something that people really need right now. So we started like brainstorming what exactly can we like, can we pivot Myrad to something else? Can we solve some other problems? And there we suddenly thought that we have a lot of app activities nowadays. People are actually like one of the major catalysts, if you think, is was Pokemon Go. We all know how Pokemon Go utilize their user data. Like all those players, they were going around the world taking pictures of Pokemons and everything. Those data were later shared with robotics to train drone models and all the stuffs. And nobody actually knew that they are actually signing the contract with the terms and conditions. So we thought, why not give those values back to the users, the original users who are creating those data? Like your order history, your write history actually generates value to other platforms or to other things, but you don't really know about it, right? And with the recent AI acts, you can't really scrape the data from internet. So that's exactly why we thought that maybe in this way we can solve the users problem. They can finally get the value they generate, and also that for the AI and other stuff companies, they can actually get licensed data from us. That's exactly how we built Myrad.
So why base? Why did you guys decide to do there? Obviously, there's other chains out there. There's Solana,
Yeah.
there's Robinhood, but you chose Base, even though the activity on Base isn't quite where we would like it to be. So, what got
Yeah.
you deciding to choose the Base ecosystem?
Yeah, honestly speaking, we know that there's a certain negativity around base chain going on right now. But like to be honest, if you ask me, I am not into that much into trading and stuff. I am more of a my background is more of a builders. So as a builder, I can assure that we have tried different chains with different projects, but the support base team has gave us that is something I really can't put words into it. Like at the start, base India, Saxena Sahab, then Ahan, everyone actually helped us a lot. They came to meetings, we had long chats. They helped us in pivoting our project. They gave us ideas that how we can actually change Mirror and everything. Then later on, base APAC team also helped us. Like we met Nick in network school. Nick actually helped us introduce with the virtual stream. So yeah, why we choose base? Because base team actually gives the best support to the early builders who actually needs introduction and support in the ecosystem, who doesn't know much people. Like when you are the first time founder, you have to know people to like grow your product. So we chose base because base actually gave us the helping hand that we really needed at that time.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Do you regret the decision, or probably not, right? Because they've given you
No,
the
no, no,
support.
no, no regret, zero regret.
Very cool. What's next then on the roadmap? So obviously the next few months, obviously capturing market share. What exactly about the product are you looking forward to pushing the most?
Yeah, like since the launch, we have gathered around 18K users, and we have gathered a lot of data contribution too. So if you ask me what's next in the line, we recently launched our staking protocol and everything. Then we today we burned some of our supply, and the next few months, our main target is that we are actually connecting with some big major corporations, like one of Swiggy, one of the examples. Swiggy is a big food delivery app in India, so we are trying to connect with them, and some other corporations I can't really name all of them. So our main goal next in the next few months is generating like industrial revenue and stuff, so that we can show our users that yeah, our project has real credibility, so that the users can trust us and everything.
And let me say, and by the way, shout out to the 3,200 people tuning in late night on chain. Um, what is success look like to you? Where would you like to see Myrad be ideally 1 year from now? What are some of the KPIs, metrics that you would like to personally see?
So one of the major updates that we are preparing right now is that we are planning to implement images and audio and video data in our platform. So 1 year from now, I want to see Myrad. Myrad right now is only the platform where you can get behavioral data set. So 1 year from now, I want to see Myrad be the world's best behave, not only the world's best behavioral data platform. I also want to see that all the images, videos, and dataset videos, I want Myrad to be the best platform that has all those datasets you need. And of course, with the base also the base chain to be the best chain where every dataset you need it to train your AI and robotics model you have to go through Myrad and Base to get those. So like if you ask me numbers, I don't know, maybe in a year I want to see Myrad having more than 500k users, like because right now within 1 week we got from 3k to 18k with just our launch and with only 7 apps. So yeah, we are always planning to implement more and more apps, and with the videos and images part, I believe 500k users is not impossible for us.
I like it. I like the goal. I like the ambition. Any last words, my friend, to the 3,000 plus people tuning in late night on chain?
Okay, if you are watching me, I just want to tell you that yeah, I know that the negativity are going around on base and everything, but I want to assure you guys that if you have followed Myrad, if you have followed the Myrad X channel, you have probably seen that from the last 5 months we have only shipping and shipping, and our product recently went live. So please come to our platform and give it a try. I can assure you, we are not here for short term. We are planning for going long term, and we are always listening to our users. Whatever they tell us, like they told us that they need Spotify, we added Spotify. They told us they need token utility, we add we added token utility. We added staking. So give us suggestions, give us recommendations. We are always hearing you. We want to show you guys that whatever we are today, it's because of you guys. So please come to us and give us your suggestions. We won't disappoint you. And also, please have faith in Base and please have faith in Mira.
My friend, I look forward to seeing you grow. I look forward to, you're taking the approach on building on base, which is not an easy thing to do at the moment, but that also does indicate that you're here for the right reasons. So I look forward to seeing it grow, man, and appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that was Abra from Myrad. They are one of the base batches finalists. So shout out to them for coming on. All right, guys. Pretty soon we're gonna have the one and only Perpspad coming on. Again, once again, just shout out to Abra from coming on again. It's really good. Like I said, base, if you're building on base and you choose to build on base right now, I think you're here for the right reasons, because there's no other reason why to build on base. Truthfully. Bases. Maybe we'll have its time, but right now the volume is definitely not on them. Definitely not. Definitely not. But we do appreciate Myrad for coming on. Myrad HQ is the ticker. Big goals too. I like it. 500,000 users. Well done. All right. So everybody, I think it's time. A majority of the audience is here for one group and one group only. And I think you guys know the name. And we are going to bring up the one, the only. ADP the Great. How are you doing, sir? You're on
GM, Bill. So happy to be here. So happy to, be on the late night show. So yeah.
Yeah, no, shout out to you. Shout out to Sage. I've known Sage for a while as well. Actually, I had no idea Sage was working or with you guys in some capacity. So when I reached out to you guys, I had no idea. So shout out to him. And shout out to your community, man. These guys, I love it. They're just like messaging away in the comments. We love that. Keep doing it. Talk to me, man. All right. We have 3,300 people tuning in. Obviously, a lot of people know what Perpspad is, but not everyone does, especially those that don't pay attention to Solana. So why don't we start with the beginning? What exactly is Perpspad?
Okay, so Perpspad is a meme coin launchpad on Solana that lets you launch coins backed by Perp, right? It basically allows you to launch coins based on a narrative marked by market sentiment, and the best way to reflect market sentiment is through, the perps, perpetual futures, what perps are, hyperliquid, Phoenix, So that's really what Perpspad is, you know. So you have an example where you have a narrative backed by market sentiment. You launch a coin backed by that narrative, right? So for example, you have Zcash. Somebody made something called Zcash. There was a time that Zcash it had this problem with like the circulating supply, right? So someone like launched a coin and they were like, yeah, we're going to pair it with like a short Zcash position. There was like a big red candle that day. So the coin goes up, the per position also goes up, like it's printing, and it feeds that into the coin. So it introduces another narrative that gives like meme coins another liquidity driver, and it's deflationary tech that accrues value to the coin through buyback and burns.
So, okay, there's a lot to cover. I also want to give a shout out to Sage. Sage, how are you doing? I called you
Shout
on
out
the
to
stage.
Sage, man.
How are you doing, friend?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Good, man. It's been a while since we chatted. I was telling the audience here, I've known you for a bit, and I think you are a good Chad. So even more bullish that you're part of this. All right. So, okay. First of all, though, let's dive a little bit in, because I think one of the things about coming on a show is you can have great tech, but the founders need to tell their story to get the people, the traders, more bullish in a way, to trust them. So why don't we start with you, ADP? Talk to me about the building in general. Like, have you been a builder? What's your crypto background? Talk to me about your role in this space leading up to building Perpspad.
Okay, so I mean, I would say I'm a builder. I've been a builder since I started coding with like computers back in 2021. But I got into crypto in 2023, and that was like through meme coins actually. In 2023 there was like the ETH, there was the time of ETH, right? You had Pepe. I don't know if you remember, like there was like the Pepe meme coin run. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm going to like buy some crypto. I'm going to like ape in. No, I did not make money. you know. So and I also like I was bridging to like L2s and base. I bridged to L2s that you cannot even pronounce, man. So but no, I didn't make money. No, I didn't make money. So yeah, I started with meme coins, but then I decided that I'm going to like leave this degen lifestyle, and I wanted to become a builder. So how I got into it was Dune. Dune is an on-chain analytics platform for data, right? So I learned SQL. I started build like dashboards for analytics and everything. But I actually wanted to get into a bounty. What they say is that you don't buy your first crypto, you earn your first crypto, right? So the bounty was on Super Team. I don't know if you heard Super Team. Shout out to Super Team though. Solana, big Solana community, support builders, support the community. So I mean, I tried and win some, lose some. I didn't get it. After that, I decided to like learn Rust for Solana programming, and I got into another bounty on Super Team as a builder. It was to contribute to the main Solana repo for the Solana smart contract examples. It was really thrilling competing with a lot of people. I was happy that I came first, like really grinded. I came first, and also a friend of mine came first too, which was like really great. So, over the years, and that was 2024, 2025 building up to today, 2026, I have Perpspad, and we're building, we're iterating, we're building, man. We're building.
And talk to me, Sage. What's your role in all this? You do biz dev. What about you, man? I know you a little bit, but many people don't. What's your, I guess, general resume in crypto? What are you a builder as well? I know you advise other projects. What's your role right now with Perpspad?
Okay, nice to have you again, Bill. It's actually been a while. We kind of like jumped on call. This was last year when we were working on a lot of stuff together. And like you said, I've basically majored in biz dev and growth, and I've been a founder as well. Tried to like spin off a lot of things, picking up residual knowledge and skills along the way. But my strength kind of like revolves around growth strategy and advisory on growth. And I started off with building on near blockchain as of 2023 and pivoted to Base, then pivoted to Ethereum, back to Base, where I contributed to DAOs.world with Asflame and helping a couple of community to do DAO raises and also DAO strategies as well. Then I kind of like circled back into base, working on internet capital markets. And in the process of working on internet capital markets, I was also working with an Ethereum privacy company, EIP 7503, that uses ZK wormholes to anonymize transactions for users as well. Also led their raise. We had a cumulative raise of $1 million plus, and we had a great launch as well. But the project failed to have like kind of like an adoption because it was way too technical for normies. It's kind of like useful for very good developers and all that. But yeah, I got in contact with ADP 2024 when he was a ROS developer, and the best duo is a developer and a business developer, kind of, because while you're writing the code, I'm busy thinking of how to sell the market and basically grow the community. So ADP reached out to me earlier last month, and he was like, "Oh, he got this idea. He wants to work on this idea." And I'm pretty much big on assisting developers with launches and also with building communities. And I told him like, "Okay, this is the strategy we are going to employ. This is how we are going to do it. This is what we are going to work on. These are the features we are going to basically integrate at first. And these are how we are going to go about it." So yeah, that's actually the story.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so let's turn the attention to the project to Perpspad. So we know about you. Okay, so walk us through, why did you guys decide to combine memes with perpetual futures? Because again, there's all sorts of, and it's very interesting to me, but what went through your mind when you were like, all right, let's just do these two elements, combining the two, because it's very unique and rare. What made you guys decide to do that?
Okay, thank you, Bill. So, I mean, I had the idea to build it in my head, and I was like scrolling on Twitter one day, and I saw that somebody had built it, and I was like, wow, this thing is cool. So he asked for help. I commented under the Twitter, to assist him, and you know, and I was the one really building, I was the one really integrating. I had like the native Solana knowledge and stuff, but he just decided to like leave the project for reasons like known to him. And the community saw that I was like the lead developer because we're open source. They saw my GitHub. So many people contacted me, even like big KOs like Gake contacted me. The community wanted the project to live on. So I decided to carry it on. Forks are written in crypto. We forked it and we continued building an excellent product because the idea can't die.
Just to add to what ADP just said, personally, I've been in crypto for 5 years now, and I've seen like different narratives around memes. We've had memes built around culture, pets, animals, creators. Basically, have memes around even racism as well. Sorry to use the word, but we've basically had enough of those particular memes. But we've never had memes that are driven by market narratives, and that is why we thought of a way like what can actually drive memes, excluding all these factors or all these criteria of other launches, right? And we basically tested a lot of other areas. We tested futures, we tested stocks, and we were like, yes, these are actually great narratives, but what can actually give memes that particular heartbeat that they've actually missed, sort of. And we looked at, peps are actually good positions to open with memes, and we thought of like the inner workings of how this particular architecture is going to work, and ADP released it with me. I think we spent a couple of days doing research before he found out that someone had actually built something like this on Solana, and he decided to contribute. And he later reached out to me and said, "Oh, this person kind of like stopped building, but he had worked on the underlying technology to the point where we can be able to launch memes back with Pep's position." I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's start working on it." And that's how we became. That's how Perpspad actually became a thing.
And so why Solana then? That turns my question there, because obviously something like this, obviously everyone's talking about Robinhood, everyone's talking about, this chain and, the lot of fun that's going on. But Solana has been kind of late to the party. Actually, a lot of traders have gone away from Solana. What made you guys decide to build here instead of Robinhood?
Okay, so as I said in in my founder story, the intro. Honestly, Solana was like first instincts, my first choice as a builder. I started my journey as a builder on Solana. So, it was first nature to me. Solana is like an interconnected ecosystem, right? It's easy to integrate anything. There was a time that as Flynn even said, it's like an SDK chain, right? You mostly don't need to write a smart contract. So everything that we use under the hood is from other providers. You have a Meteora, use the Meteora dynamic bonding call for the launching. Shout out to, we also use DLMM for like the tokenized stocks feature we'll talk about later. Parent coins with tokenized stocks, like the Robinhood narrative. We also use Imperial Perps, really great provider. Shout out to Imperial, shout out to Hunter, right? So, and yeah, it was also target markets. Solana has been marketing itself as the consumer chain. Back then they called it chain for the pause. So, and yeah, that was the reasons why I decided to build on Solana. Really amazing.
Do you regret the decision to build on Solana versus Robinhood?
No, I don't regret the decision. It's really great actually. Perpspad has been going really well. So yeah.
Very cool. All right, a few more questions. So as a builder, obviously not everything's easy. It's very difficult. There's a lot of builders these days. Success isn't just given. For you personally, what has been the hardest part about building Perpspad?
Man, what a question. The hardest part of building Perpspad wasn't actually like the technical side, because like, oh, it's we put our files every day as devs, right? So it wasn't on the technical side. It's like building. People just talk about building and they just like, oh yeah, building the product, writing the code. But like, you have to build the community, you have to build distribution, you have to build like your marketing strategy too, because it's not a situation where you just like make something and the users will come. No, the users will not come. You have to go to them, right? You have to give them the value proposition of, okay, this is what I am building, this is why you should listen to me, this is why you should use Perpspad. And shout out to Sage, he was really helpful on that part too. He really, really great at strategizing everything. So yeah, that's really it.
What about you, Sage? You've been in this space and biz deving for other companies. What is some of the hard things that you've encountered in today's AI world?
Okay, so personally, building in crypto is an extreme sport. It's not really easy because you're actually building for a larger market. You're starting off without a target market because your first market could actually be someone in Far East, someone in the Far West, someone in the Far South, different markets, right? And because of that, you have different market psychology as well. Different users bring in different market psychology, bring different user psychology as well. So the hardest part for me is aligning those particular sentiment to the product, right? And Solana, it's a home of high risk, high reward kind of like users, other than basically more than other chains, and aligning their interests to the products and also making sure that the product itself speaks for the users. It's one of the most hardest parts because I mean there are a lot of features that we try to like cut down as we were working on the tech because we felt like this particular feature is not really going to be cool for this stage of development. So we had to take it to the later stage. And aside from just the alignment, I'm a bit technical inclined as well. Solana is kind of like easy, like EDP says, Solana is easy to integrate compared to other chains. So we didn't really have much of an issues with the technical layer. It was more of the consumer part that we really had an issue. And I mean, we kind of like did great because at some point, for more than 3 weeks of building the product, we literally did not have any user. Sort of like we were still struggling at 20K to 8K market cap on some days. And all of a sudden, when the product kind of like clicked to the user attention, they basically like started pushing for it themselves. And at that moment, we kind of like found alignment. So we looked at it that, okay, this is the right time to start dishing out features. And that's what we're actually doing. We have a feature that we want to launch on the space and to enable more high risk, high reward type of launches on the platform as well.
I love it. All right. So what's next for Perpspad? We got to wrap things up in a little bit, but what's next for Perpspad? What are some features that are coming? And let's start with that. What in the next give us some alpha. We love alpha. 3,400 plus people tuning in. What's next? What are we looking at for Perpspad?
Okay, so I'll go for that. Right now, we are
Okay.
working. We've already worked on it. We are launching a feature called Basket. You can be able to launch more than one. You can be able to peg your meme coin to more than one peg position. We are starting with two. You can basically launch a meme where the peg position is SpaceX versus Solana, Solana versus SpaceX, Solana versus BTC, and basically make profit from both. You can be able to do that also for 3, 4, 5 different positions, but we are kicking off with two. And the feature is actually really cool because it gives DJs a bit of adrenaline for whatever meme coins they want to launch. And that's the first feature we'll be launching. And also we had a couple of calls with a couple of ecosystem players, and we are actually working out strategies to make stock and memes a narrative on Solana. Right, we've jumped on calls for more than we've actually had like 5 different calls just today with Solana ecosystem peeps. I'm not going to mention their names, but we have started planning on making Perpspad like the biggest launch pad on Solana currently. And yeah, another area we'll definitely be working on is on the aspect of creators fees and also creators having access to the peg position, so that when the peg position are in losses, they can be able to change the peg position. That is a bit technical because we are looking at adding the voting mechanism and looking at other areas to explore. But the feature is going to be live, say, in a couple of days, because we have to do more research before we include that into Perpspad. Then, as for where Perpspad is going, personally, I have big vision on whatever I'm working on, and I try to see that whatever I'm working on come out successful. We are looking at basically taking a market share of more than 10% of the entire Launchpad market share, and that is basically going to be around a 1.5 billion to 15 billion market share on Perpspad. Right now, we are still struggling at $3 million cumulative volume, and from here is 100x up. So we are still iterating to make sure that before we get the more attention to the platform, we already worked out the necessary areas that is going to propel us to that height.
All I can say is wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is some bullish stuff. That is a narrative. That is some commitment. That's a vision that you guys have to become the best on Solana. Any last words, guys, for the 3,000 plus people tuning in late night on chain with ADP the Great and Sage? Any last words, guys?
So, last words, closing words. Visit perpspad.fun. Play around with it. You can check out. If you want to launch a coin, launch the coin. Can launch coins paired with tokenized stocks too, which is like a really big thing. Powered by Myrad, DLMM, and we are also, as he said, we're launching a new feature. You back not just back coins by perps. You're going to back it by the baskets like a pair trade, right? Is cross margin. There's unified, isolated. It's cross margin. So shout out to Phoenix, shout out to Imperial, and just have a great day too.
You, Sage, any last words?
Personally, I would say the community should be patient with us. They've actually been kicking us daily to ask for updates. Building is not easy. It's not a one-way street. You just walk out of the house and just take it through. You basically have to like make sure all the moving parts are properly ticked before doing anything out there. And crypto is not really an easy place to build around. You have a lot of moving areas that you need to watch out for. So a little bit of patience. Yeah, money goes up is the best tech. Money goes down is the team and scammers. But yeah, we are not going anywhere. Like I've kind of like been boosting their confidence with the whole talk of we've been here since where we are basically below 8K market cap, and we are still here even below 100K and even above 100K means we are still here for the long term. So they should just be a little bit patient. We'll keep on rolling updates till when the platform is fully matured for more launches and more routing to the platform. So yeah, that's my last words. More patience, give the team a bit of slack, cut a bit of slack, and let us just keep on iterating. And we'll basically will not fail you guys.
All right, I was muted. As Fossil says, send it. We got Ramos sent with another emoji, LFG, Perpspat. Your guys' community is legit. I
Shout out
love
to the
seeing that.
community.
A very good
Shout out
community.
to Ramo. Shout out to
Yeah.
Justin. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to everybody. You know, I
Love,
can't mention everyone's names. Goku. You know, Carrion, Sage. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to all of you. I love all of you.
love seeing that. All right, guys. Well, listen, I appreciate you all. I'm glad we're able to get you on, and we'll have a couple clips made for you by tomorrow. We'll tag it and just get your community to just absolutely dominate it. And as always, send it, baby. And I look forward to seeing you guys succeed.
Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate it.
Bill. Have a great
Appreciate
day.
you too. Appreciate you guys as well. All right. That is the team from Perpspad. Man, you guys are legit. Great community. Again, without a community, this stuff doesn't matter. You guys are absolutely legendary. And yeah, love it. I love it. And I feel that you guys have what it takes to win and win big. All right, guys, 3,400 people tuning in live late night on chain. We got to wrap it up. I appreciate each and every one of you. We do this Monday through Thursday, noon PST, like clockwork. So if you guys have nothing to do around this time, tune in. We like hanging out. All right, guys. Cheers.